Shucky Ducky, Quack, Quack, it's your NXT preview for the 11th of the 10th, 2022. Now, every single week we seem to have changes on NXT, the colour scheme, something seems to change. We're getting closer to the black and gold, we're getting closer to that era. But there was a real change this week, and that is on commentary. Booker T is back, the 6th-time WCW champion. Now, I'm going to call Booker T a 6th-time WCW champion. Now, he referred to himself as a 6th-time champion on the commentary, and I know he's counting his 5 WCW titles and obviously his world title that he won on SmackDown. But if you actually rewatch the Invasion angle, he won the belt for like a week, albeit he lost it back the next week. But still, I wonder why they never reference that. I guess a 5-time WCW champion, it just sounds better than 6-time. Plus his whole gimmick is saying that he's a 5-time WCW champion. So, I mean, that sounds better than doing 6 times. But regardless, fun fact, Booker T is indeed a 6-time WCW champion. But I'll tell you what, nobody on this show would be a 6-time WCW champion, because this show fucking sucks. They all suck. Well, they don't all suck, but I mean, it's not a great show if we're being honest. I fell asleep like 3 or 4 times. And if the show was good, you wouldn't be falling asleep. 1 minute I'm watching it, the next minute I'm waking up and I'm like, shit, I need to rewind. I need to see what happened. You know, you fall asleep during a women's match, then you wake up and it's a fucking men's tag team match and you're thinking, what the hell just happened? I mean, if WrestleMania was on back in the day, who would ever fall asleep during WrestleMania 17? Nobody. That's because it was good. This show, not so good. But we kick off with the NXT champion, Braun Breaker. He's facing Javier Bernal. Now, you might be asking, who the fuck is Javier Bernal? And I think that's a fair question. I'm not sure who Javier Bernal is, but he loses to Braun Breaker in the opening match. After that, we then get JD McDonagh. He comes into the ring. This guy's head and body are just not the same proportion. He's got like a really tiny body, but a big massive fucking head, and it just does not look right. Then Ilya Dragunov comes out. I hate this Ilya Dragunov. He comes out and it's almost like he's playing like an invisible violin. I don't know what he's doing here, but he comes out and he's pretending that he's playing a violin. This sums up NXT UK. This sums up indie wrestling, in my opinion. This guy comes out just a dude that likes to wrestle, hits hard. Oh, you know, this guy, he wrestles a technical, hard-hitting style. I mean, who cares, right? The guy fucking sucks. The guy's not got a character, and he's pretending to play an invisible violin. Who cares about everyone? Dragunov, Walter, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, these people are all the same. They're all fucking bums, right? They're not Stone Cold Steve Austin, they're not The Rock, they're not The Undertaker. They're indie bums that don't belong on anything but indies. And I guess you could argue NXT's indies, or who cares? Anyway, the 3 of them in the ring. JD McDonagh hits a headbutt on Dragunov, and I'm surprised with the size of this guy's head he didn't kill him. Then he starts fighting with Braun Breaker. Then Dragunov runs and hits a flying knee. He tries to hit it on JD McDonagh, but McDonagh moves it the way and he knocks out Braun Breaker. So there you go, freeway action to kick on the show. We then get, what did we get? Backstage? We have Axiom. He's going to be squaring off against Nathan Fraser or something like that. So, we basically go to Axiom versus Nathan Fraser straight after this match. It's the best out of 3 falls or whatever, the best of 3 series. So it's 1-1, they're tied. The winner of this match, whoever wins the series, will qualify for the NXT North American Championship. Nathan Fraser wins it. Honestly, don't care for either of these men. Although there is something weird about Nathan Fraser when he speaks. I'm not quite sure what it is. I haven't put my finger on it, but I don't know. I just sometimes he speaks and it's entertaining a wee bit. I don't really know what it is, but I definitely prefer Nathan Fraser over this Axiom kid, or you know, whatever he's called. Then we see a video hyping up Alba Fire. Mandy Rose, I'm gonna show you that there's no smoke without fire. I mean, fuck off, right? I mean, I know she's Scottish, I'm supposed to cheer this person on, I'm supposed to be, you know, begging for an Alba Fire win at Halloween Havoc, but I'm no praying for an Alba Fire win. I want a Mandy Rose win at Halloween Havoc. So hopefully Mandy Rose beats this fucking jobber. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say on that. We move on. What do we move on to? We move on to, yeah, so then we see Dragunov leaving the arena. He is approached by Grayson Waller, who's like wearing these big massive sunglasses. Dragunov asks him why is he wearing his grandma's glasses, and then this pisses off Waller. Waller kind of accuses Dragunov of being a coward for leaving early and stuff like this, and then Dragunov stays, nah, you know what, I'm going to stay and I'll face you in the main event. But essentially, just a fucking segment here to set up the main event. Who cares? But yeah, Grayson Waller was wearing these big massive goggles because apparently his eyes are damaged. Yeah, his eye, sort of big yawn. Normally I would edit that out, guys, but you know what? It is fucking like 4 o'clock here, and I just do not have the professionalism in me to edit that. So yeah, you're gonna get a yawn included. So if the show was good, I wouldn't be yawning. Let's put it that way. That yawning adds character. You know what? That yawn adds that's character development. So there you go. We'll put it down to character development. But yeah, we get the main event: Waller versus Dragunov. Then we head backstage to Sagna and Valentina Feroz. Feroz asks Sagna to be at ringside tonight. He says, "I'll always be by your side." I know that was kind of Japanese. Oh, me, my name is Sagna. I will always be by your side, Valentina Feroz. I don't know. Is that a good accent, man? My accents went to shit. Like I used to be good at doing accents, but the past couple of years, I can barely do my own accent. I don't know what's happening, man. Maybe I need to go back to the school of accents. I don't know if that's even a thing. Indy Hartwell comes in though, and she says that the ring is hers. Look, no offense to Indy Hartwell, I did enjoy her. I think the stuff she did with Dexter was fucking great, and I don't know, I mean, could you move her on Raw, and could you have, like, Dexter have, I guess you could incorporate her into the whole Miz thing, you know, Miz and Maurice, who knows, maybe they'll have a mixed tag match or something, I don't know. I did like Dexter, I did like Indy Hartwell, but Indy Hartwell on her own fucking sucks. Plus she's got a horse face, and she claims the ring is hers. I'm not a big fan of Indy Hartwell. She beats Valentina Feroz with a suplex off the top rope. During the match, Fear came down, whispered something in the ear of Sagna. Then they both went to the back. Probably said, "Oh, brother Sagna, I got curry in the back. Let's go eat it." And then maybe that's what they done. I don't fucking know. I don't care, man. Fear Mahan, he's on NXT. 1 minute he's on Raw. He's going to be a world champion. He's going to end the streak. He's going to destroy the bloodline, and now he's on NXT dressed in a fucking suit. Wow. Then after Indy Hartwell wins, we've got Pretty Deadly. They appear on like one of the ramps. They congratulate Hartwell. They say that she is impressive, but they are fantastic. And they say that they're here to watch the upcoming #1 contenders match. And then they basically make fun of Americans and Yanks. They've kind of got like, you know, they've got the popcorn. They've got that sort of like, you know, drink that's connected to the alcohol, but there's like a straw and you wear it as a helmet, that weird thing, and they're like, go PD, Pretty Deadly, and they're just making fun of your average Yank fan. So although they looked about 10 stone too light to be your average Yank fan, so it is what it is. Then we get the six man. It was there were 6 men in the match, but it was a 2 versus 2 versus 2. It was a triple threat tag team match to determine #1 contenders for the NXT titles, and the 2 black guys won it. I don't know their names. Idris something and Malik Idris or some shit like that. I didn't even know these guys existed. This is not me picking on them, but legit, until last week, did not have a clue these guys were even on the roster. Didn't know their names, didn't know who they were, could not have picked them out of a line, just thought they were two random people on the show, but apparently they're wrestlers, so I mean, who knows? Who knows? We then head backstage to Gigi Dolan and JC Jane with Mackenzie Mitchell. Jane says she and Dolan should be the number one contenders for the championships, but that didn't happen because Alba Fire jumped them, because Alba Fire wants to get her hands on Mandy Rose. Jane then says she will beat Fire before Dolan says if anyone messes with Toxic Attraction, they will walk through the fire to get their revenge. Jane says she will send Fire back to her ancestors as a hot mess. You know what? I don't mind Jane. Now, I get it. Unfortunately, she is in a trio, and if we're just being blatantly honest here, I'm not even talking wrestling ability or, you know, promo ability, but in terms of looks and appearance, she is third best here, and I think she is third by quite a distance. Now, this isn't me having a go at JC Jane. This is not me saying that JC Jane isn't attractive. I'm not saying JC Jane is ugly. I'm not saying anything like that. But it must be tough for you to get over in a stable when, you know, the other two people are considered borderline goddesses, and you're just, you know, like a semi-attractive chick. That's me being blatantly honest there. But I actually think Jane's okay in the ring. I think she's just as good as Gigi Dolan, if not better. And I think she's just as good promo-wise as well. I mean, probably better than Dolan in my opinion, promo-wise. But yeah, Dolan's a babe, and JC Jane's just kind of alright, if you know what I mean. So yeah, no, it must be, I don't know what my point is here, but my point is I kind of feel sorry for JC Jane. I like her. I think she's alright. Anyway, she's going to face Alba Fire next. Then we get a video of Kiana James, the teacher. She's like a teacher, I don't know, PE teacher or fucking business advisor, I don't know. She's taking care of business for a Chase U building. It seems like she wants to buy this Chase U building university, but she says it's more, she's trying to buy it more for like the plot, the land that it's on. Apparently the land that this Chase University is built on is like worth more than the university itself, or something like that. Who the fuck knows? Wasn't really paying attention. Then we get Alba Fire versus JC Jane, and JC Jane loses to Alba Fire with the gory bomb. After the match, Alba Fire's walking up the ramp. Some masked chick attacks her, and it turns out that it is the one and only Sonya Deville, the former SmackDown GM. Now, normally Sonya Deville comes out the closet, but this time she came out behind a mask. She came out behind a hoodie, and she beat down Alba Fire. Then she says in a promo after that they did this powerbomb, triple powerbomb for the table. It was like the Shield, but only 3 chicks doing it, so it wasn't as good. But here, fair play, they tried. Then backstage she says that, yeah, me and Mandy might have had our differences in the past, but she's still my best friend. You can't just kidnap my best friend and get away with it. She says that JC Jane and Gigi Dolan are Mandy Rose's girls, so that means that they are also her girls, and if you mess with them, then, you know, Sonya Deville's not going to let that fly, basically. Then Sonya Deville challenges Alba Fire to a match next week, and then tells her to meet her in the ring and stuff like that. So really good promo, I thought. Sonya Deville's good on the mic. I enjoy Sonya. I like Sonya. She's good. Then we go backstage. We have... What do we have, actually? We have Cora Jade saying that Roxanne Perez has no friends. Mackenzie Mitchell's like, well, actually, I've seen Roxanne's DMs blow up. I mean, if I knew her, if I had access to her DMs, I'd be blowing it up too. But she says that she's been getting lots of like DMs from people from Raw and SmackDown, and that she's actually going to SmackDown this week. This pisses off Cora Jade. She's like, nah, it can't be true. Roxanne has no friends. Why would she be going to SmackDown? Then Cora Jade's like, I could get on SmackDown if I wanted to, blah, blah, blah. Then she comes back later on in the night and basically tells Mackenzie Mitchell that she's going to Raw. She's been speaking to Rhea Ripley, and yeah, I guess she's going to Raw. She's going to pick an opponent for Roxanne on Raw, and Roxanne's going to SmackDown, where she's going to pick an opponent from SmackDown. So next week on NXT, we're probably going to get someone for Raw and someone for SmackDown, and who knows, I guess we're getting Sonya Deville as well. So we're getting a brand invasion next week. Raw and SmackDown invading NXT. That's more colours to add to the mix. Fuck knows what the colour scheme's going to look like next week. Then we got Wes Lee versus Stacks. Stacks wants revenge for Wes Lee injuring the Dawn of NXT. He doesn't get it though, because Wes Lee picks up the win. Wes Lee unfortunately beats Stacks. I kind of like Stacks. Stacks is alright. It's a shame what happened to Two Dimes, but I don't mind Stacks. Stacks is alright, but you know what? He stacked up another loss here because he lost to Wes Lee. Then we got a video hyping up Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark. Did not care for this. Do not care for Zoe Stark. She's just not got it, man. I'm sorry, but she's not attractive, alright? She's just not. And you need to be, unless your character is like a monster or some sort of like fucking killer, then you kind of do need to be attractive as a female wrestler. I mean, it is what it is. Not even as a female wrestler, like even as a male wrestler, you'll know, if you look at all the main guys that have been pushed, the guys that get to the top over the last like couple of decades, it's all, you know what I mean, it's all like good looking dudes. So I mean, this isn't a sexist thing. I just don't think Zoe Starks is, unless you have, like I said, unless you have like a character or a gimmick that then you do need to have the look, and she just does not have this look. It's as simple as that, guys. I don't really care. Let's speed this shit up. What did we get after that? We had Hank Walker talking to someone, I don't fucking know. So what did we have? I can't even fucking remember here. I'm trying to think what we had. We had with the Creeds visiting Roderick Strong in hospital. Roderick says he's sorry that he invited Damon Kemp in. It's basically his fault what happened. The Creed brothers like, don't be daft, it's not your fault. Julius Creed says, I hope they may have got more beds at this hospital because they're going to need more room for Damon Kemp when he sends him there after their ambulance match at Halloween Havoc. I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm going to say that Roderick Strong is indeed faking an injury. I don't think he is legit injured, and I think he will cost Julius Creed at Halloween Havoc. A lot of people think he'll come back and help Julius Creed. I'm gonna go down a different lane here. I'm gonna go in a different direction. I think he might cost Julius Creed. Overall, I don't really care. I mean, it is what it is. Then we get Kana James versus Thea Hall. We get Mr. Stone comes in, he's not happy, says Thea Hall's embarrassed him all week because she slammed him. There's a slam chant in the crowd. Robert Stone runs at Thea Hall, she has a big back body drop, then she starts stomping away at him. He manages to crawl out the ring. Thea Hall turns around, Kiana James hits her finisher, 1, 2, 3, beats on about 5 seconds. Your winner, Kiana James. So yeah, that was a quick match, maybe match of the night. Fuck, who knows? Who knows? Then we head backstage. Stacks is there. Tony D walks in. Stacks asks Tony D how he's doing. Tony D says, I'm doing better than you, obviously referring to the loss. He says that he's warned Stacks about interfering and stuff like this, and Wes Lee kind of blames Stacks for him getting injured. Then he says, don't worry, next week I'm going to give you another challenge, basically. So Stacks like, who's my opponent going to be? Tony D doesn't tell him, but he tells him it's going to be, he basically says it's going to be like the time he fought some kid at school or some shit like that. I don't know. Then we go backstage after the break. Cameron Grimes is talking with Mackenzie Mitchell. He talks about the challenge of the Schism. I mean, fuck the Schism. Look at them. I don't mind Joe Gacy, even though he is like the Poundland version of Bray Wyatt. But the other two Mongoloids absolutely fucking suck. They look like someone from the Hills of Eyes. They do look like freaks. And I just don't want to see them on my TV. Main event time, it's Ilya Dragunov versus Grayson Waller. By the way, I think I've missed a segment. Apollo Crews did do something where he spoke about his visions and how, you know, they're coming through and stuff, and that was an okay wee segment, I guess. But anyway, main event, Dragunov versus Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller is trying to leave. He gets like the wheel, the spin the wheel, make the deal, spin the wheel, starts spinning on its own. This freaks him out. He runs back into the ring, gets caught by Dragunov, who hits a couple of German suplexes, then hits his finisher. He beats Grayson Waller. Dragunov gets momentum. It looks like Dragunov's going off the air on top, but then no, Braun Breaker comes out, hits a big massive spear on Dragunov, and then Braun Breaker celebrates like he's won the World Cup. Meanwhile, JD McDonough watches on from ringside with his deformed shaped head, and that is how NXT goes off the air. But how could I forget? So during the JC Jane, well, it's JC Jane versus Alba Fire match. Vic Joseph says that he's so happy to have a professional like Booker T out here. He says that if Wade Barrett was out here, if Wade Barrett stood up during Toxic Attraction's appearance, or should I say in attendance, or like in the company of Toxic Attraction, Vic Joseph said if Wade Barrett stepped up, he would flip over the announce table, which seemed like he was insinuating that Wade Barrett would have a hard-on talking about Toxic Attraction because he's, you know, in love with him, and then like Booker T's like just completely ignoring Vic Joseph, and Vic Joseph's like, oh no, not you too, Booker, because Booker's like too fixated on Toxic, and Booker's going, whoa, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? And then Vic Joseph says like that when Wade Barrett was here, his eyes used to like bulge at his head, and Booker T be like, hey, leave that man alone. There's nothing wrong with his eyes. So Booker T basically saying that, look, Wade Barrett has got every right to be looking at Toxic Attraction, which I believe he does. But yeah, no, I thought this was weird. The whole table joke, I mean, that was definitely Vic Joseph going for some sort of erection joke there. 100% had to be. We had cocks on Raw, and I guess now we've got erection jokes on NXT. But yeah, overall, guys, NXT, I mean, it was alright. I mean, it was okay. I think there was definitely a time, probably about, I want to say maybe 6 months ago, maybe a little bit more than that, or maybe 6 months is around the right time frame. But I would say 6 months ago, NXT was consistently the best show week in, week out. I thought they were doing really, really good shows, really, really good segments. I feel like it's kind of hit and miss. I don't really watch NXT now and go, that was a really good show. I feel like I watch NXT and I feel like, you know what, there was some really good segments from the show. There was a couple of good things that I really liked. But yeah, overall, I do feel like NXT has has declined a little bit. Having said that, I am going to give this week's NXT a 2 out of 10. I'm sorry, it was match heavy. There was a lack of promos. There wasn't that much, in my opinion. So I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. Let me know what you think. I did enjoy Booker T on commentary, so that is a positive. Mandy Rose wasn't there, but Sonya Deville was there, and I like Sonya. Pretty Deadly have grown on me ever since I've been, called up from NXT UK. Pretty Deadly have grown on me. But yeah, I'm only going to give it a 2 out of 10, guys. So let me know what you thought down below. There was just no real segments featuring like Chase U or featuring the Dawn or anything like that. Like I said, it was very match heavy. It was very pro wrestling heavy, and it lacked sports entertainment this week. So for me, it's getting a 2 out of 10. That's it, guys. Let us know your rating down below. I'll catch you in the next one. NXT 2 out of 10. Until AEW Dynamite. Peace.